Okay gang, we got the rest of our bits and pieces here. I've gone through everything. Everything is copacetic with this transmission. Why it wasn't driving, I still don't know. I guess I'll find out when I get everything stuck together. Now, you have one lonely little plug that's just a grease cap that resides right there. Here's your shift rod and all of your shifting gears. Right here on this side. This side's got your brake band. This side over here, you'll have what looks like a little Welsh plug. That slides right down inside there. Easy peasy, okay? That's in place. Then I've got a little bit of, there we go. It's a little tricky doing this because you do have to put in your pinion gear before doing all of this. So what I'm going to attempt to do here, now there's needle bearings in the pinion gear. Make sure when you put it together that you still have your washer and your O-ring. Set your pinion gear down inside there first. That's the first step. Get her down in there. Now what I'm going to do is attempt to just set the pulley on here, if it'll be nice and happy with me, and it's not going to. Alright, give me a minute. Okay, we're back in business. I just had to clean the hole out just a little bit there. Pinion gear down inside the hole. Like I said, what I'm going to attempt to do here is use that use the pulley to my advantage to hold everything together. It looks like that's going to work okay. Right on. Now, how do we get this chain? Get her pulled around there. It's up underneath the shifter fork. Hang on, guys. There's uber prepared. There we go. Okay. What we do is it orients this way. We are going to take all of this off this end to make it easier for us to put the chain through and to get it on the gear. So you just do in reverse of the way that I said to assemble everything. If you want, you can grab just that gear and give a good tug, take everything off at once. Over here, make sure your bushing is in place, okay? And you'll see on your casing a little divot where there's a guide on that bushing where that will sit. So just take that, set that down in there. Just like so, okay? Now, we're just going to thread that chain through, and we're going to leave it raised up a little bit so we can get everything back on here. Let's get everything back on in reverse. We'll get that gear on, get it threaded on the chain. Like so. And whoop, washer. Don't forget your washers, guys. Make sure your O-rings are in place. That bushing on, whoops, the main gear on there. This is going to be a little tricky because I got to kind of rotate it up. Figures. Busy man here, busy man. Can't answer the phone. Got grease all over my hands. You hold your tongue just right and get everything lined up. And there may be an easier way to do this, but boy, the tolerance on that particular gear is really, really, really tight. Come on, Festus. Get up in there. Alright, whistle a tune or something while I get this gear on. Just when it looks like it's there, it goes. Alright. Bushing. Okay, now set everything down. Raise it up enough to get our washer on there and get our bearing on there and set it all down into place. That's together. That's it. That has got that part of the assembly together. Then you grab your drive axle and your bearings will float on the axle. You're just going to locate them in each of these grooves. Start here, then move the other one out. Just drop it into place, and also right here is another bushing that you may have to shift in order to get everything drop into place like it just did, just like that. Now everything's together. That's it. That is an assembled unit. So now I'm going to pour the grease in. Yay. Gotta love grease. I'm going to pour the grease in, button up the top of the case, and give her a bench test to see if everything's golden. Because like I say, I found nothing broken inside this case when I pulled it apart, which really surprised me. So this is Zippo. I'll catch you guys when this thing's all back together and back on its feet. Alright, before I throw this back together, I want to show you guys something just so that you're aware. I've told you that you needed to locate your bushings so that they were oriented in the proper way for assembling the bottom of the case, and here's why. Okay, hang on just a second here. Grab me a makeshift pointer. Now, I'm going to roll it up. There's a boss right here where I'm pointing. That one rolls towards the narrow end of the case. Okay, you have another bushing here, and that one rolls towards the back of the case, back this way. Alright, that's at your brake drum. Then you have another one here. That one rolls towards the narrow side of the case. I say back side of the case, towards the axle side of the case. Okay, towards the axle side of the case, towards the narrow side of the case, towards the axle side of the case, and this one is towards the narrow side of the case. Okay, and then we've got another one here, and I need to look and see. This one right here just has a flat spot on it. Rotates to the narrow side of the case. Make sure all of those are oriented correctly, or your case is not going to go together right, and then everything in here will be able to flip-flop around. So make sure that all of your bushings are oriented in the right positions for you to assemble the bottom of the case. Now I'm going to pour my gunk in here, get the bottom of the case on, get it flipped over, and see what we got. Be back.